Hello, I'm Ana Paula Bortoleto. I am a researcher from Brazil. I work at IDEC. It's a Brazilian NGO that works for consumers' rights, and I work specifically with food and nutrition public policies. We have been working for a long time following the regulatory process for changes in the food labels in Brazil, considering that we have an agency there that is responsible for all the regulations, and it has a mandate to approve it whenever it's necessary to improve the information for consumers. It's considered as a right that consumers have to access the information about what they are eating. And we have seen for a long time that the information available today is not enough. In 2013, we did a research showing that population couldn't understand what they were reading in food labels, and this is one of the causes of bad food choices. So we developed a proposal to present to this agency from IDEC and from a university that works with information design, showing that the warning front of package labels are the best option for the population to understand what they are eating and to make healthier food choices. Based on this proposal, we developed some scientific studies to compare the warning labels with the traffic light labels, which is the options that the big food industry is pushing forward in Brazil. And what we publish is that the warning labels allow people to understand what they are eating. So after this study, we started an advocacy and communication campaign to increase the support for this kind of approach that is very successful in Chile, and we want to have it approved in other Latin American countries, like in Brazil. Our biggest challenges are to present our work to the main stakeholders in Brazil, and with the political changes in the country, we always need to talk with different people and different stakeholders to make them to understand our point of view and to see how the warning labels are better. And the other challenge, of course, is to deal with the interference of the big food industry in Brazil, which are trying to avoid the implementation of any kind of public policy that could harm their business. The food industry influence the public opinion, they influence the congressmen, they influence the ministries, and we need to always be in touch with everybody and have support from different kinds of associations and from the civil society. Luckily, in Brazil, we have an alliance for healthy and adequate diets, which forms a group of NGOs and universities that works for the approval of public policies to change the food system in Brazil. And this alliance is always supporting each other and trying to give this message for as many people as possible. I believe that this kind of approach, having different actors supporting each other and having also, we have important contacts in the government, technical people inside the government that are willing to have this approval done. It's crucial for this approval to happen. Last year, we had a report from the agency saying that warning labels are the best option from Brazil. Now what we need is to have the final resolution published as soon as possible so that Brazilians can have access to this right to know what they are eating. I would say that implementation research is fundamental for this to happen because we need to have as much evidence as possible to present to the stakeholders and to the entire society, showing that this kind of approach will benefit public health, will reduce the costs that we have with NCDs in Brazil, and of course increase the quality of life of the population. What we need to do more now is to have the numbers of this kind of implementation of these policies so that we can show that with very low costs we can implement successful public policies that will reduce the costs of all kinds of NCDs and will contribute for the prevention of NCDs in Brazil. Okay. How many minutes?
No, I think it should be about 8 minutes.
It's okay?